welcome to Long's Toys. Today I have another Transformers Generations review for you. This is the Legends class Cliffjumper and Suppressor. I really like the art up here. This is a repaint of the Bumblebee mold from this line. And as you can see, when they're doing repaints, they're switching up the Minicons. This is a repaint of the Minicon that originally came with the Optimus from this line. So I appreciate that they're kind of mixing it up so it's not just the same guy and the same Minicon, at least a little bit of variety. Kind of reminds me of what they did with the Power Core Combiner line. They would repaint the main robot and then switch the Minicon / Target Master partner he would come with. He also does come with Prime's rifle because it really does add a lot to the Minicon, so I appreciate that that wasn't skipped out on. So let's go ahead and get this guy out of the packaging and take a look. Alright, so here's Cliffjumper and Suppressor out of the package here. As you can see, it's a pretty nice repaint of Bumblebee. It's a lot of red. He's very, very red. But I like the silver shins, or I should say knee guards here. And I like the white Autobot symbol on his chest. If we get in close to take a look at the head, it's not a new sculpt or anything. It's just painted differently. I think the nice silver face and the horns are nice. The eyes are actually a light blue, but it's very hard to tell in this light with the camera because the light blue, I wish it was a darker blue. It kind of blends with the silver because it's very similar. But I do like the paint otherwise. Articulation-wise is the same as Bumblebee. He's got a ball joint here in the shoulder, ball joint for elbow articulation, ball joint in the hip, and then, like, not quite 90 degrees at the knee, but almost. But overall, I think he looks pretty good. Now, the Minicon he comes with, as I said before, is the one that originally came with Prime, but repainted yellow. Kind of looks like a little Humvee. I think it's pretty cool. Really, to transform it, all you do is stand it up and pull its arms out. Nothing too special there. If I try to get close in on his head sculpt, it's not bad. The eyes aren't painted a different color, but the kind of eye and nose section is painted yellow, as you can see. It's not terrible. But transformation, not anything special there. Now, he does come with this gun, which is exactly the same as Prime's rifle. It has a small peg on top and a big peg on this side. The small peg can fit in Suppressor's hand, which is nice, while the big peg can fit in Cliffjumper's hand right here, and it looks pretty good. Now, the other thing about the Minicon partner is it can turn into a gun. It's exactly the same as Prime's Minicon. This will rotate here, and then fold out, and then this peg swings down. And it's like a giant cannon. As you can see, it's got two giant barrels here on the bottom. He can hold it, but it's very heavy and basically just makes him fall right over. So if I go ahead and put it in his hands, if I try to lean him back, maybe he'll stay. What do you think? Maybe? Nope, falls right over. So I think it's a cool kind of cannon, but it's really hard to pull off a pose with it because it makes him ridiculously top heavy and he pretty much just falls right over. But the other cool thing that you can do is the small peg, there is a little hole on top. You can plug that right in and make like a 3-barreled cannon. So major firepower. I think that looks pretty cool. That's pretty much it for Suppressor, the little Minicon. He's not bad. We'll move on to the transformation for Cliffjumper. So the transformation for Cliffjumper is exactly the same as Bumblebee, not very difficult. Start with the hands. There's a hinge, I should say there's 2 pin joints here and here. You're just going to rotate this around and then it'll become one flush piece, which obviously is the side of the car. Do that the same with the other side. No big deal. Come down here and the kind of feet heel sections will rotate 90 degrees and then you peg the 2 legs together. And that's going to make the front of the car. The head section is going to kind of go into the chest as you lift the chest back. Or actually, I guess technically the head and roof section rotate backwards. And then this section down here is going to come apart and rotate up and then kind of push in until you line this all up. And that's the whole front and kind of front of the car all the way to the back, the top of the car, I should say. And then these side panels will just kind of rotate back. And everything will just kind of click in place. And then these will tab in down here on the front. If you're familiar with the Bumblebee toy, the transformation is exactly the same. For some reason, mine kind of has difficulty with the sides clicking in. Not really sure why. I don't see anything in the way. There we go. So, I have to say I really like the repaint. I like the purple and black highlights. I think that looks pretty cool. I like the purple on the top there. And I like the black and purple on the sides. Not really sure why. It just seems a little off on mine. But overall, I think it's really cool. I really like this line. They're little Transformers that are fun to transform, but they're not ridiculously simplistic like this little guy over here. So, I think they're pretty fun. And I really like this repaint. I mean, they always do a Cliffjumper repaint of Bumblebee because in G1, the characters were pretty much the same mold. So, I kind of expected it, but I'm happy with it. I really like it. So I think the Cliffjumper repaint of Bumblebee is really well done. I really like the colors. It is a lot of red, but it does have some nice accents with the silver and the black and the purple, especially in car mode. The Suppressor, he's alright. I mean, he's a slight repaint of Roller. I like the Cannon mode. He's not one of the best Minicom partners that we've had in this line, but he's not bad. And the repaint's decent. He kind of loses this functionality to plug into the back of Prime because he doesn't really plug into the back of Cliffjumper the same way. But he's not bad. I mean, to me, the star is always the taller, larger robot. And I think that's great. So Suppressor is just kind of a bonus. But if you're a fan of this line, like I am, I've been collecting all of them. I like that they're relatively inexpensive. I found this guy at Walmart for about $9.99. I like the line because they're simplistic transformations, but they're really good robots with pretty good articulation for figures this size. I just think they're a lot of fun to pick up and transform back and forth. So I definitely recommend them. If you love Bumblebee and you don't need the Cliffjumper repaint, then maybe he's an easy pass for you. But I like him because I like the Cliffjumper repaint a little bit better than Bumblebee, and I think this Minicon works a little bit better than the Minicon that came with Bumblebee, which was the weird helicopter Minicon. But let me know what you guys think in the comments. Please like and share this video. Please make sure you're subscribed. There'll be links in the description for my Facebook and Twitter. Feel free to follow me on there as well. I hope you've enjoyed this review of Transformers Generations Legends Cliffjumper with Suppressor. And thanks for watching.